It was a cold winter's night, and the engines were all huddled up in their shed. "My driver," said Edward, "goes camping with their family every year, and it's somewhat like this. And every time they go camping, they always tell a tale. And I just so happened to have a winter-flavored tale. It was the ghostly siren of 1895.
No. Could we not do spooky story, please? No offense, Edward, but Christmas is like a joyous, happy time, and I don't want to think of monsters right now.
Well, Percy, well done. You soured the mood.
Sorry.
Jeez. I don't know why you're so afraid of ghost stories now, Percy. Remember what happened last Halloween?
Yeah, but like it just doesn't seem appropriate, to talk about it, Christmas, December, kind of time.
Yeah, sure. Oh, be fair now, Thomas. You were like that once too, remember? Yeah, once. I grew out of it. That makes me think, though. How about we speak of different stories? All relating to winter, of course. Well, we can't just tell stories we've already experienced. Or else we're just saying, remember when this happened?
How about we speak of stories that we've experienced before coming to Sodor? Around winter.
Well, sure. Sounds like a laugh. Yes, and I believe I have some stories from my furnace days. You fancy it, James?
Yeah, sure.
Alright, let me start us off. This is a story back when I used to live in England. We were always kept in our little yard during the holidays. Sometimes not even in steam. But this winter was different.
Why do I have to wear this silly, uncomfortable thing?
You need to, Thomas. It's your snowplow. You'll need it for the journey ahead.
But we don't go journeying out of the yard during winter, driver.
We do now. Ever since your brother got stuck in a snowdrift. We need to go pick him up. And so, for one of the first times in forever, I was able to leave that little yard. When I arrived at the station, I found my brother, and I thought it a right joke.
Playing igloos are we now, Stuart? That's a festive sort of engine.
Duh, shut it, you twerp. I'm not in the mood for your jokes.
Well, you'll be pleased to know that I've come to rescue you.
What do you want, a medal? Oh no, it doesn't matter right now. I need you to take my special up the line.
Are you sure, Stuart? I haven't been up the line like you have. I might get lost.
Oh, don't be an idiot, you twerp. It's a straight line. You'll end up there by accident. I wasn't so sure of myself back then, and Stuart's remarks didn't help me either. But I carried on.
All right, Stuart.
Soon I collected the special off Stuart, and I was on my way. But as I made my way down the line, I kept complaining.
It's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable,
I'd say. I didn't like my snowplow one bit. So when I found the chance, I took it. Afternoon, sir. What seems to be the problem? Oh, it's my snowplow. It snapped off in the night, and I can't go any further. Now, how have you gonna manage that? Wasn't my fault. It didn't fit me properly. All it took was one little bump, and snap! Your snowplow, however, looks like it would fit me just perfectly. Oh, I suppose. That gave me a nasty idea. You know what? Sure, you can have it. 'Tis the season to be given and all. Oh, thanks, Gov. I owe you one. And so I gave him my snowplow, and he was off with his important coal deliveries. My driver wasn't as cheerful as I was. I appreciate you helping someone in need, Thomas, but we needed that snowplow just as much as he did. Oh, don't worry yourself, driver. We'll be fine with or without that big hunk of metal. I continued my way up the line, but the snowfall only got worse. I began to regret leaving my snowplow behind. But the worst was yet to come. As I went through the tunnel, I didn't see the snowdrift up ahead and crash! Stuck in the snow. Oh, I did feel silly then. It took me a while to get out of there. Stuart had to come up the line with his own snowplow and get me out. I do hope the Christmas festivities weren't ruined. Oh no, it was fine. We got there eventually. Ignoring the necessity of a snowplow and running into trouble. Now, where have I heard that before? Hey, don't get me wrong. I'm just a consistent sort of engine. Well, it was a grand story either way. Who's next? I have a story to tell. A story from my early years working on the mainland. All about yours truly. I was a legend. Born into luxury, I was. And the other engines that I worked with knew my presence whenever I was there. I was also a bit of a favourite amongst the workmen. They'd always come every day and try to see what would make me work even better than before. Not that they could improve upon perfection, of course. However, if there were one problem with my perfect life, it was my brother, Noel. Pip pip, chilly old Jamie. Wonderful winter day now, isn't it? Could you be quiet and let an engine rest? But Jamie, it's a lovely day. You'd have to be a fool to not take advantage and waste away around here. I'm taking advantage of a nice rest, thank you very much. I wouldn't expect you to understand that, all hyperactive and junk. Alright, Ebenezer Scrooge. I'm gonna do some actual work now. Ta-da! Yeah, ta-ta. I'm going back to sleep. Noel was a hyperactive sort. And a clever one, unfortunately. Trucks? Phew! I thought I was meant to be doing passenger work. Well, you were. Your brother Noel came in and said you were too tired to do the work. So he kindly did it for you. Oh, that little schemer. When I get my buffers on him, I swear. Where is this meant for anyway? A yard. Somewhere up north or son. Well, I suppose James is coming to town. stupid Noel. Getting me out here in the cold, and dirty cold trucks. I swear, if he was out here, he wouldn't be half as cheerful. But I tell you, when I got to that shunting yard, oh boy, it was a mess. And they seem to have only one tired out little shunter working in the yard. Oh, well, a happy, merry, jolly Christmas to you too. Oh, sorry. Oh, I'm just worked off my wheels. There's so much to shunt and no time to do it all. We've all chipped in to do our best, and it still isn't enough. And to make matters worse, they're sending me out to take this train, leaving everyone here short-staffed. And if I don't get this train to its destination, the manager will have my smoke box on his mantle. After hearing out this poor shunter's woes, I decided to chip in a bit myself. Listen, I'm not the kind of engine who likes pulling trucks. But if you stay here, and I take that train, you'll have plenty of time to get this yard sorted. Oh, thank you, sir. You're a lifesaver. Oh, how could I ever repay you? Never mention this to anyone. So tell me now, Jamie, how did you enjoy your coal run? Well, for your information, Noel, it was actually quite grand. Maybe if you were half as useful as I am, you'd be more beloved. And that's how I saved Christmas. Truly a story of the ages. Whatever happened to that James? He actually sounds bearable. Oh, don't get chatty now, Mr. Snowdrifter. I rest my case. Either way, it was a great story, James. Top tier. Yes, Christmas truly does bring out the best in us all. Ha! I don't need some holiday to bring out the best in me, Edward. Because I'm always at my best. Edward, what about your story from your Furness days? Oh yeah, my story. Let me think. Well, there were plenty of them. What would you like to hear? Let's hear about your family, Edward. You heard about mine, we heard about James's. We never heard about yours before. Oh, yes. My family. Now, let me tell you something. In my heyday, I was a hot shot. Fastest engine on the Furness. I felt invincible. I was punctual, practical, and always right on time, if not a bit arrogant. The manager loved me, the people loved me, and the coaches loved me. Most of the time. Every Christmas holiday, me and my fellow co-workers would gather in the sheds. Perfectly punctual as ever, Edward. You're the backbone of this railway. Indubitably. You, Edward, make the Great Western Railway look like a bunch of hornswogglers. The coaches, they sing your praise. I let everything they said get to my smoke box, and I thought myself to be irreplaceable. I was wrong. Poppycock! Now, Edward, be reasonable. You've run the express line for a couple years. It's time to let someone else have a turn. I am still in my prime, sir. I don't see any reason I should be replaced. Times are changing, boy. You weren't going to stay at the top forever. Just be happy you aren't being sent for scrap like the engine before you. It's not right. I tell you what. I know, Albert, I know. But there's nothing we can do. They've already built my replacement. They're just testing it out now. How big do you think it is? If it wants to contend with you, it's gotta be well massive. Yeah. Oh, it's probably got mammoth wheels, just to keep up with me. Do you really think it's gonna replace you, Ed? Nah. They're gonna see how it performs and then think, man, I really miss Edward. Yeah. It's gonna be dreadful. Albert, you think this is what my predecessor thought about before he was replaced? Oh, God, you might be right. Oh, no. This is bad. Alright. We must find a way to stop this engine, right? So I'm thinking we get some trucks. And you can cut that out and all. Besides, we want you to meet her. The new engine? Yes, Edward. Your sister. Needless to say, I packed all my plans up immediately. Alice, her name was. She was so kind. I never thought I'd see the day when I feel more reasonable than Edward. I don't hide from my past, James. Even the ugly bits.
Well, I thought it was a nice story. And I didn't know you had a different tender before.
Yes, a long one it was. Although it did feel like it was crawling behind me sometimes. I'm happy I got this tender now. Tender moments spent with family. I wish I knew how that felt. I never knew any of my family. Most Christmases were empty. But one night was different. And this was the story that Boco told. Boco enjoyed taking the night goods. The evening air was crisp, and it was nice running with no other engines around. Best of all the trucks were too busy sleeping to cause any mischief. One foggy evening, he arrived in the yard right on time. He parked his trucks and made his way to the shed. The yard was big, but Boco never had any trouble finding his way. Tonight, however, the fog was too thick and he completely lost his bearings. Strange, he muttered to himself. I'm certain the sheds are around here somewhere. Suddenly, Boco could see the outline of a building ahead. Finally, he smiled. His relief was short-lived. As he drew closer, he saw it wasn't the big shed where all the mainland diesels slept. It was smaller and more akin to older sheds. It was shabby and looked as if it had been vacant for a long time. A shed's a shed, old fellow, sighed his driver. We'll go mad trying to find our way in this fog any longer. Boco was uneasy. Something felt odd. But he didn't want to navigate through the fog any further, so he silently fell to sleep. Now Boco was alone. All was silent. No trucks being pushed around. Not even the distant sound of diesel horns. It was as if the fog muffled the world around him. Why, hello. Boco jumped. Besides him was an old tender engine. Dark, heavy bags underneath his eyes. He looked as if he hadn't slept for days. It's not so often I have visitors, he said in a warm but weary tone. At last, Boco found his voice. I'm very sorry. I didn't mean to intrude. My driver and I got lost in the fog and... No need for apologies. Fog can lead you places you don't expect to be. Besides, it's nice to have company for a change. Well, thank you. I must admit I am surprised. I've been taking the night goods for years, but I've never seen this shed before. Or you, for that matter. You're not the only one. Seems I'm invisible to most who work here. You're different from the diesels that live around these parts. Much more courteous for a start. I used to work on Sodor many moons ago. Boco was surprised. Yes, it's true. Used to work at the big station. Lovely place it was. Only wish I had appreciated it more at the time. Why don't you return then? Oh, no. Oh, the fat director wouldn't have patience for an engine like me. There was an engine called Edward. You know him from the books. Oh, yes. I've heard. Ah, a kind soul he was. I only wish I'd been as kind to him sometimes. If you ever see him, treat him with respect. What did you say your name was? Asked Boco. It's getting late, yawned the old engine. We better get some sleep now. We'll finish our chat in the morning. Boco was curious why the engine wouldn't answer his question, but he had to admit he felt drowsy, and it wasn't long before he fell asleep. His dream was an odd one. He dreamt of scrapyards. Old engines were lined up in the sidings, their shadows dancing in the flicker of the cutter's torch, but there was no screaming, there was no muffled pleas for mercy, there was only singing, a song sung in pure harmony. The last sound to come out of the rusted metal carcasses was a peaceful song, sung with their colleagues, their family, and their loved ones. The next morning, Boco awoke. There was no shed, there was no engine. But he needed no answer. He knew exactly what it was. And calmly, he left the yard. It was truly the strangest winter I think I ever had. But I don't know how to feel about it. That was interesting, Boco. Very interesting.
Yeah, Oh, but it is getting late now. No time for stories anymore.
Oh, you didn't even get to tell your story, Percy.
Oh, no, it's fine. My story probably wasn't even half as interesting as your lot's. Besides, James has already turned in for the night.
Well, good night, everyone. Good night, Edward. Good night.
Good night.
Alright. Now what is that thing in my field?
Oh, it seems to be an engine. A steam engine. A big one, too. I haven't the foggiest of how I got there. Though the kids seem to like him.
Well, that'd be good if I was running a daycare. But I'm running a farm, Mayor, sir. I want that thing out of my field. It's for my cows, not your engines.
Alright. I'll call up the railway. See if they can call up a lorry and get him out of there.
What a funny lot of white stuff. It's like the ground, but softer and colder. What did those children say it was? A train? Cows eat grass, and trains eat coal. Oh, but coal doesn't really sound that tasty. Hello. You're one of me, right? The children said there's a lot of things like me around, but I didn't know there was one so close. And how are you able to move? I can't. Am I the only one of my kind that speaks? Is it just a me thing? No offense, of course. It's just odd. I don't really know what I am, or how I even got here. But I suppose it's nice not being alone. You know, earlier the children said they were going away to spend Christmas with their families. I don't know who my family is, but perhaps we can spend Christmas together. Whatever that is.